They thought surrender was weakness. They thought a woman who walked away from everything, the house, the cars, the investments, the savings, was broken, defeated, too exhausted to fight. When Natalie Reeves signed the divorce papers without contesting a single asset, her husband Marcus celebrated like he'd won a war. He hadn't won anything. He just handed her the last piece of evidence she needed. This is the story of a woman who played the long game, and the day the IRS came knocking on a door she'd already walked away from. The marriage had lasted 9 years. Natalie Reeves, 36, former financial analyst, had spent the last 3 years watching her husband Marcus build something extraordinary. Not their marriage. Their marriage had been crumbling since year 4, hollowed out by Marcus's obsession with money and his conviction that Natalie was too simple to understand it. What Marcus had built was a cryptocurrency portfolio worth $3.8 million, hidden from their joint accounts, hidden from their financial advisor, hidden, he believed, from everyone. He'd started small, Bitcoin in 2017, Ethereum in 2018, then altcoins, NFT projects, DeFi platforms. He had wallets spread across 16 different exchanges, some domestic, some international, some completely offshore. And not a single transaction had ever been reported to the IRS. Marcus told himself it was legal gray area, that crypto wasn't really taxable until you converted it, that the rules were still evolving, that he was simply being strategic. What he was actually doing was tax evasion on a scale that carried a maximum sentence of 5 years per count. But Marcus wasn't worried, because Natalie didn't know. At least, that's what he believed. The truth was more complicated. Natalie had been a financial analyst for 11 years. She understood blockchain technology better than Marcus did. She'd watched him tap away on his laptop at 2 a.m. thinking she was asleep. She'd noticed the hardware while it's hidden in his home office. She'd seen the transaction notifications flash across his phone when he forgot to turn the screen away. She'd been quietly, methodically documenting everything for 2 years. Not because she planned revenge, but because something her mother had told her once had stayed with her always. Never leave a room without knowing where the exits are. When Marcus filed for divorce in March 2023, citing irreconcilable differences and presenting a settlement that gave Natalie almost nothing, she hadn't contested it. Her lawyer, a sharp woman named Diana Park, had been furious. "Natalie, you're entitled to half of everything. The house alone is worth $900,000. "I know," Natalie said calmly. "He's offering you $80,000 in your car. That's insulting." "I know. Why are you accepting this?" Natalie smiled, just slightly, "Because what he's keeping is worth far less than what he thinks." Diana stared at her. "What does that mean?" "Sign the papers, Diana. Trust me." The divorce was finalized on June 15, 2023. Marcus stood outside the courthouse with his new girlfriend, Victoria, a 26-year-old who'd met him at a crypto conference. He was grinning, loose-shouldered, victorious. Natalie walked past him without a word. She got in her car, the modest Honda she'd accepted in the settlement, and drove to a coffee shop downtown. She ordered a latte, opened her laptop, and submitted a detailed report to the IRS Criminal Investigation Division. The report contained wallet addresses across 16 exchanges, transaction history spanning 6 years, converted values at the time of each transaction, estimated unreported gains of $2.1 million, and documentation showing Marcus had filed joint tax returns for 5 of those years, claiming no cryptocurrency income. She didn't send it anonymously. She signed her name. The IRS has a whistleblower program. If your tip leads to a successful collection of unpaid taxes, you receive between 15% and 30% of the amount collected. Natalie had done the math, carefully. Marcus spent the summer celebrating. He bought a new Tesla, booked a vacation to Bali with Victoria, started renovating the house that was now entirely his. The first letter arrived in September. It was from the IRS, audit notice, requesting documentation for tax years 2018 through 2023. Marcus wasn't worried, not at first. People got audited, it happened. He called his accountant, a nervous man named Gerald who'd been filing his taxes for years.
Gerald, I got an audit notice. What do I do? Silence on the other end. Then, Marcus, did you report your cryptocurrency income? You know I didn't. We talked about this. More silence. I advised you to report it every year. You told me to leave it out. Because it wasn't technically Marcus. Gerald's voice